In this video, we're going to learn how to solve the problem of twin primes. Let us first read the question. Write a program to generate twin prime numbers within a given range. Twin prime numbers are a pair of numbers which are both prime and their difference is 2. Twin prime numbers in the range 1 to 100 are 3 and 5, 5 and 7, 11 and 13, 17 and 19, and so on. Right? So we need to generate twin prime numbers. Now, before we start the problem, it's always a good practice to identify the subtasks that are required to be solved, that are required to be solved first so as to solve our problem, right? So the first subtask that I notice is to check for prime numbers, to check for primality, right? And the second subtask that I notice is to generate twin prime numbers where two primes will have the difference as 2, right? So let us write this down first. The first subtask is to check for prime, and the second subtask is to generate twin prime numbers. Prime numbers. Now, as we have been asked to generate twin prime numbers in the problem, therefore, we need to first take the range as input from the user. So to generate twin prime numbers within a given range. So what does a range constitute of? A range constitutes of two values, a lower bound and an upper bound. Let's say I tell you that the range of numbers is 1 to 10. So you're going to write it like this, 1 to 10. So 1 is going to be referred to as the lower bound, which I'm going to write it as short LB, and 10 is going to be referred to as the upper bound, and I'm going to write it as UB. All right. So LB stands for lower bound, and UB stands for upper bound. All right. Now, the first thing that we need to do is we need to take this range as input from the user. So let us say the user has given LB a value of 1 and UB a value of 10, meaning we need to generate twin prime numbers lying between 1 and 10, right? So we need to run a loop. We need to count from 1 to 10. So our counter is I. All right, let me dry run this for you first. Okay, the first number that we begin with is 1. Now, what is the number that comes 2 after? I plus 2, that's 3. Now, is 1 prime? No, right? So I'm going to write false under this column. Is 3 prime? Yes, it is a prime number. But as both of them are not prime, they are not twin prime numbers. This pair does not constitute a twin prime number. So we move on to the next number in sequence, that's 2, right? Now, 2 plus 2 is what? That's 4. Now, 2 is a prime number, is prime I. But is 4 a prime number? No, right? Therefore, 2 and 4 does not form a twin prime pair. Let's move on to the next number, 3. And 3 plus 2 is 5. 3 is prime, and so is 5. Therefore, 3 and 5 form a twin prime pair. This is why I'm going to circle this in pink, right? Let's move on to the next number in sequence. That's 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. Now 4 is not a prime number, and nor is 6. Therefore, they do not form a twin prime pair. Moving on to the next number, 5. 5 plus 2 is 7, and 5 is a prime number, and so is 7. Therefore, this pair forms a twin prime number. Are you getting the point? So we are generating numbers from 1 to 10, and we are adding 2 to the currently generated number, that's I, and checking whether both of them are twin primes, right? And why are we adding 2? Because it has been given that twin primes are those prime numbers which have a difference of 2. These two numbers have a difference of 2. If you subtract I plus 2, if you subtract I from I plus 2, you get 2, right? Therefore, the difference between the two numbers should be 2, and they both should be prime. Now, Moving on to the next number in sequence. So 6 plus 2 is 8, and both of them are not prime numbers, hence they do not form a twin prime pair. Moving on to the next number, 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. They unfortunately do not form a twin prime number. So this is true. Sorry for the confusion there. This is true and this is false. The next number is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10, and both of them are not prime numbers, hence they do not form a twin prime pair. The next number is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. And 9 is not a prime number, but 11 is. But still, they do not form a twin prime pair. Then, moving on to 10, next number in sequence is 12, and they both are not prime numbers. Alright, so the twin prime pairs that we have got between 1 and 10 is 3, 5 and 5, 7. But do you notice a problem? The problem lies in the last two rows. Why? You see, we are checking numbers which go beyond our upper bound, and our upper bound is 10. We cannot have a number which is greater than this range, because we are asked, specifically have been asked to find out twin primes that lie between this range, right? So therefore, the last two rows cannot be taken. And this is the reason why, while generating twin prime numbers, we have to generate numbers, we have to check numbers from LB to UB minus 2. Right? This is the range in which we need to check for twin primes. Now, I guess some of you have understood why we are skipping the last two rows, and some of you might still be confused. And for them, I have another example. Let's say the user has given the value of LB as 25 and the value of UB as 30, meaning that we need to generate twin prime numbers between 25 and 30. Let's begin, right? Our usual thing, we start off with 25, we add 2 to it, we get 27. 25 is not a prime number, nor is 27. So, moving on to the next number, 26, 28, they are not twin primes too. Then we move on to 27 and 29. Well, 27 is not a prime number, but 29 is. But still, as they both of them have to be prime to be twin primes, they does not form a twin prime pair. Moving on to the next number, 28. We get 31. Now, 31 is a prime number, but 28 isn't. Therefore, they do not form a twin prime pair. Moving on to the next number, 29. And 29 plus 2 is 31. 29 plus 2 is 31, and this is 30. I'm really sorry. I'm forgetting my addition. False. 31. And 29 is a prime number, and so is 31. Therefore, they form a twin prime pair. All right. Now, we haven't yet completed, so we need to go to 30. And 30 plus 2 is 32, and both of them are not prime numbers. But tell me, it's true that 29 and 31 are twin prime numbers, but do they fall or do they lie between 25 and 30? No, right? Therefore, if we would have stopped our calculation or our number generation at 28, right? At 28, let me change the color. At 28, then I wouldn't have gotten numbers which go beyond the range of our calculation, beyond the given range, right? This is the reason why we generate or check numbers lying between LB and UB minus 2, because this value, though they are twin primes, they are not the correct answer, as they do not lie between 25 and 30. Get my point? Let's move on to the algorithm now. All right. So the algorithm is pretty simple. I'm going to go through the algorithm now. So in LB, we store the lower bound that we have taken as input from the user. Under UB, we store the upper bound that we have taken as input from the user. And it is assumed that LB will be less than or equal to UB. It is assumed. right? We are not checking whether user is mixing up these two values. I am assuming this, right? All right. So we're going to generate numbers from LB to UB minus 2. The reason we discussed before, just now, right? We're going to check if I and I plus 2 are both prime. If they are, we display this, we display the twin prime pair. Otherwise, the loop continues. Right? A very simple algorithm, right? The function that we will be needing to complete our program is Boolean is prime, and this function is going to take in a number. And this loop, we may write it in the main method, right? So I hope you understood the algorithm that we discussed here for the generation of twin primes. Now, I want all of you to try this yourself. The algorithm's there, you know how to use the prime function. It has been discussed in the previous videos. So go, give it a try. And even if you cannot solve the problem, you end up in multiple errors. No issues. In the next video, we're going to have a solution or a code to this problem. But I want all of you to try this on your own, because the pleasure, the happiness you're going to get when you complete this program on your own is priceless, will be priceless, right? So see you in the next one. Bye for now.